Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone Zero, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. As always, starting off with in-game events, later today we have a new event called Help Kai, where once again, no it's not Kai Sinat by the way, where once again we can help out another little Bangbu as he tries to conduct a survey for some simple rewards like polychromes and upgrade materials. And then later this week on the 4th, we have another little Bangbu event called When the Sandwiches Come A-Knockin', where we can help run a budding new competitor to Chop's Noodle Shop over in Luminous Square. From what I understand, this is going to be a Bangbu run bread shop, although I would love to see Shawl show up somehow and be a little helper in the stall as well. As expected though, with the current patch cycle winding down into the later half, the events are going to be on the simpler side, so it is just these two events this week, and then next week on the 11th we will have a double disc drop rate event. Now as for the social side of things though, there are thankfully a lot more to go over since it is a new month, which also means some nice freebies. First, we have Lighter's EP that came out last week, which features a nice song and also a glimpse into a bit of his past. If you haven't watched it yet already, I highly recommend you do so, and in fact, you can watch it in the linked tweet down in the description below, and if you do, you can also follow the official Zenless Zone Zero account and repost that tweet, and if you do so, you will stand a chance to win one of 20 Bangbu rugs. Next up is a rock paper scissors challenge against none other than the undefeatable red scarf of the Sons of Caledon. Once again, you can go to the linked tweet down below, take a screenshot of the GIF or GIF to find out if you're able to beat Lighter, and then post the screenshot with your in-game ID and the corresponding hashtags for a chance to win 150 polychromes. And then as mentioned, since it is a new month, the December daily check-ins over at HoYoLab have been reset. If you check in for a total of 20 days across the month, you will get 60 polychromes, but if you have never done any of these check-ins before on HoYoLab, you can get a total of 130 polychromes for just the first 3 days that you check in. So if you're feeling lazy, you can just log in for 3 days on HoYoLab, get your 130 polychromes and then just never touch it again. Although what better way to keep track of the days of the month in December than with a free calendar for both PC and mobile, this time featuring a lovable assortment of Bangbus, one of which can really throw it back apparently. I think there's a reason why they're trying to hide their face so they can't be identified and shamed. Both of these wallpapers are free to download in the link in the description below. And you know what you can use that calendar for? To mark down some birthdays. Like for example, Ben and Lighters, who both have their birthdays in December. And to celebrate, as usual, you can decorate this cake right here and post it with your in-game ID and the corresponding hashtags between now and the end of December for a chance to win 300 polychromes. And now onto everyone's favorite, the speculation zone. Of course, with patch 1.4 just around the corner, I imagine everyone is hungry for any new information that we can get about what we can expect to see in patch 1.4. Well, I have good news for all of you. Since the new patch should arrive on the 18th of December, since that is when Lighter's banner ends, the track record for pre-patch live streams has always been that on the weekend 2 weeks before the patch drops, there is that live stream. So it is highly likely that we will get a 1.4 live stream on this Friday, the 6th of December, with an official announcement sometime either within the next day or two. Now, even though we don't have any official communication on what exactly is coming in 1.4, I do already have a video going over all of the different things that we can probably expect to see based on some things that the developers have said in the past and also what we saw in previous patches. So feel free to go ahead and watch that video after this one. But rest assured that when the live stream does happen, I will have a recap video to give you a quick rundown on all of the official information as soon as possible. So feel free to subscribe to the channel right now to be notified as soon as that recap video goes live. And last but not least, usually this would be where I go over the monthly revenue charts for the game since November just finished, but surprise surprise, every time I kept on saying not to take the numbers at face value, as for the most part they didn't really mean anything to us the laymen, and as it turns out that was a lot truer than we thought, because the website that generates those monthly gacha revenue charts was even less reliable than we thought. We already knew that it was limited to only mobile purchases, which I feel like cuts off a significant amount of revenue for some games, and then there were reports of the charts further being manipulated, or rather I should say the excuse was that certain values were speculated based off of estimations, meaning that the numbers shown there were even less reliable than one might expect. And honestly, I think it's for the best. No longer having these quote-unquote what people think is accurate charts to objectively compare different games. Even though I always say not to use the revenue charts to start fanbase wars between different games, it was still going to happen nonetheless. I'm sure people will still find other ways to shit talk about why their gacha game is better than some other games, but at least maybe now it'll be a little bit more subjective and then can be easily brushed away and not trying to throw around some quote-unquote objective numbers that aren't even real. Unless, I don't know, maybe you can argue about the cup sizes of the different like featured limited girls or whatever. I guess that's still an objective comparison that you could make. But even then, do you go big or do you go small? That is also a subjective opinion, but I think that's getting down a very weird path. So I think that'll be it for today. Otherwise though, that is going to be it for this week's news roundup of Zenless Zone Zero. And as always, if you found this useful, liking, commenting, and subscribing is greatly appreciated. So until next time, bye bye.